got a chance to catch up, and it's good to get back after it here this week. I'd like to start just take an opportunity to congratulate the athletic department for the opening of the RWJ APC Athletic Performance Center. That's a really much needed addition to the athletic department, and many thanks to all the people that contributed to that. Congratulations to Pat and the head coaches there of the sports that will be housed in that building. I know it's not a football building, but it is a huge part of our athletic department. It shows commitment, it shows direction of what we're trying to do here in the future. Just a quick bi-week recap. As we talked last week when we were together last, it was a great opportunity for us to really self-evaluate. I think it fell at a perfect time. We were able to play 2 games. We won one, lost one, but go back and really evaluate what was good, what was bad, where do we need to improve, what do we need to eliminate, where are the gaps at in our performance, and how do we close them. So it was a great week. We spent a lot of time just laser focused on improvement and improvement in certain areas. And the attitude of the players was awesome during the bye week. We started a little bit slow on Tuesday, Wednesday, but Thursday and our practice yesterday were off the charts, great energy, and we definitely got better over the course of the week. Just some things that we talked about during the week that we really want to focus on offensively, just the improvement of the pass game. We want to be an offense that can run the ball, but when we can't, or we're playing against a pretty good front, we've got to be able to pass the ball and have more production. We really worked on that in the bye week. Defensively, explosive pass plays. We had, I believe, 3 of them here in the first 2 games, and we have to eliminate that. And a lot of it's just communication and eye discipline as much as anything. So we invested some extra time in that area. And then special teams, continue to develop the fundamentals and make sure that our depth charts and our personnel that we're using on each unit is where it needs to be. So that's really the focus that we had with our football team during the bye week. Just an injury update. I know you guys will ask, but McLean Carter is still in the concussion protocol. He has improved significantly. He is listed as day-to-day here as we go through the week. He has not practiced since we played in the last game. There is a chance that hopefully he'll return to practice on Tuesday, but again, it's going to be day-to-day. We're just going to see how he continues to progress. But he's doing great right now, and there is a chance, but it's day-to-day as we go. Just looking ahead to our next opponent, Boston College comes to town. It's really an old-school rivalry renewed. Really excited about this game. I think it's a great game for this region. 2 teams fairly close together, Power 5 conferences, old school rivalry. Got a lot of respect for their program and what they've done over the years, and mostly recently with Coach Steve Adazio. He does a great job. I just like the style of play. They want to run the ball, stop the run, play good special teams. They play hard, physical team, and well coached, and they don't beat themselves. But it's a great opportunity for us to play a quality opponent here at our stadium. And with that, I hope the fans will show up. In our last home game, the fans, as we talked about, were an X factor in that game, especially the student section. They showed up with great energy and passion and cheered throughout the game and really made a difference in that game. And I'm hoping that we can get that kind of energy in the stadium here on Saturday against a good opponent. So with that, I'll go ahead and open up for any questions.
If McLean can't go, would it be Art? Would it be
Yeah,
Art's
Art's the number 2 on the depth chart, and he would be the starter.
You said you
And even I'll go back. I mean, we have to see, even if McLean is cleared, if he will be able to play in the game. He's missed a lot of practice time.
You said 5 days, I guess. So if he's not practicing on Tuesday, that would probably be an indication of.
Well, no, that doesn't mean that he's not practicing on Tuesday. Will be up to the medical staff. He's not completely symptom-free, but he's pretty darn close to that right now. So he doesn't necessarily have to be practicing on Tuesday for him to say he's going to play on Saturday. But practice time is going to be the issue.
And I'm sorry, you said that you spent a lot of time during the bye week evaluating the past game.
Yeah.
Where is it lacking? What needs to improve specifically? Is it protection? Is it wide receiver, route separation?
A wide range of all the things. I mean, if you looked at week 1, we threw the ball pretty well. We protected and threw the ball pretty well. We played a pretty good opponent, like I said. When we met kind of after that Iowa game, a lot of credit goes to Iowa. Their front did a good job of applying pressure to the quarterback, not necessarily sacking him, but they hit him a few times. We need to be crisper with some of the routes that we're running. We need to look at what we're running as well, make sure that we can protect it, we can throw it, we can catch it, all of those things. So we just did a thorough evaluation of everything. You go through training camp and you say, hey, these are the adjustments we made after last season. These are the things that we think we can be able to do in training camp. Until you start to play the games, you really don't know. But we focused a lot on trying to improve in some areas. Not all. I think we're pretty good. Like I mentioned, there were some plays in the Iowa game that were there. We just didn't connect on them. But we shored up some things. I think feel really good about the work that we got in here in the bye week.
The past game is another game under 50 yards passing, another game under 100 yards passing. And it's been a theme for the past few seasons. Do you see anything similar, that kind of common with these issues, or are it different things each time?
Well, it starts, you got to come back to execution. You know, we've got to coach, the pass game better, the details of it. We have to execute it better on game day. Then we got to evaluate what we're asking our players to do as well, because there could be great concepts that we like, but maybe our players, again, whether it be the O-line, quarterback, receivers, whatever, may not fit them. But until you play the game, you don't really know. So we've gone back and thoroughly evaluated it, and again, got a lot of work in it, or on it here in the bye week. I feel pretty good about where we're at right now.
Coach, how would you assess the offensive line play? What areas do you think needs most improvement on that unit?
It's like anything when you lose a game, and James mentioned the yardage. When you don't have any yards, like that, nobody played well. So we have to play better up front. We have to play better at the quarterback, wide out, tight end, all positions. So I thought, again, week one we played a fairly clean football. We communicated well with all the looks that we got last week or last game against Iowa. I didn't think we played bad, but we need to play better when you're playing a quality opponent like that.
I think it was the UMass game on the TV broadcast. They said you'd mentioned that Pedersen had the ankle issue and you were hoping to get him back for BC. Do you think he'll play this week?
No, he will not.
What concerns you most about Boston College? I mean, from our perspective, we see A.J. Dillon, the running back. He's explosive. Is that your biggest concern? What else?
A couple things. Personally, you always look at personnel first and foremost, and he's the one that jumps out. I think they have a good running back unit overall. It's not just the A.J. Dillon show, although he's a really good running back. They have some other good quality backs as well. Brown, a quarterback's a very good player. A couple of wideouts can get up and go, and they've had some explosive pass plays down the field so far this year. They can run the ball effectively. They're a play-action pass team. When you combine those two, you got to have great eye discipline on defense, and you got to have great gap integrity. You're going to have to pursue the football and tackle well, against a back that's 250 pounds. So they really present a lot of problems. And the schematics, they're really comfortable living in condensed sets. It's a little bit different and unique to college football where everybody's spread out. Some of the motions they do put stress on you defensively for alignments and communications. And so it's a combination of some good players, I think a good scheme for what they have with their personnel, and I think they do it exceptionally well.
I know he was already committed when you took over, but Anthony Brown, did you recruit him? What do you remember about the recruiting process with him? I know there was another
there really wasn't any. If I remember correct, I think he was a mid-year graduate and early enrollee at Boston College, so he was basically already gone and done, to Boston College before I even got here. So I've never, I can't recall ever having a conversation or meeting him or anything like that. It was pretty much a done deal.
Secondary, I mean, after we could practice the film, what do you think the issues were there at Iowa, especially at quarterback?
The only issue was a double move that got Avery early in the game. He was just being overly aggressive in a particular coverage adjustment. And then late in the game, they ran a little, what we call a scissors route between a wideout and a tight end. Our inside safety, Christian Isian, was a little bit over aggressive on the corner route, but really just being a little over aggressive in both situations.
You've been rotating a lot of guys at safety and linebacker. Is that proving to be an asset, and you see that continuing in the future?
It should develop the depth that we want. We think that there's pretty good competition for playing time and reps at both of those positions. We need to develop the depth as we go through the season. We're really getting into the meat of the season here with this stretch before our next bye week. And we're just trying to keep guys healthy and fresh and develop depth at those positions. And there's not much of a drop-off between the guys that are on the first team and the second team. And I saw that during training camp, and I've seen that from the first two games as well.
The workload for Pacheco and Blackshear, are you happy with it, or does that need to improve? The reason why I asked 21 touches a piece in the opener, and then I think 13 for Pacheco, 10 for Blackshear. And I know, it depends on amount of opportunities that you have
Yeah.
from offense. But are you satisfied with the amount of workload that they're getting?
Yeah, I am. I mean, they're obviously two of our best players, and they're going to be a focal point for our offense, and we need to get some other guys in the mix as well. But they should always, at the end of the game, be two of our leading guys in terms of touches, offensively. At the Iowa game, we just didn't have enough plays overall, to increase those potential touches in that game, where there might have been some plays that they were targeted on, and it just never developed the right way because of pressure or something within the call. But yeah, I'm pleased with what we're doing with them and where we're headed with them.
Coach, how does this game play into momentum of the season, and how are the players viewing this challenge from Boston College?
Say it one more time. Rick.
How does this game play into the momentum of your season, and how are the players viewing this challenge from Boston College?
Yeah, we're just trying to get better every day. That's our focus, is just to keep improving. Our last game out, we didn't play the way our team is capable of playing, and we're just trying to get back to that. That's it.
Do you look at this game as an important step for recruiting? I mean, Boston College has 17 Jersey guys. They obviously recruit to stay. I don't think you recruit as well, up in New England. But do you look at this as a game that you need to win just to kind of, keep Boston College at bay?
No, this is our focus is on our improvement. That's it. This is a big game, and like I've said since we've started, every game's a big game for us. And our focus is just on our process of trying to improve every single day. Every team we play pretty much recruits here in the state of New Jersey. Boston College, just because of proximity, recruits here a little bit more because it's so close. But every game's a big game, and again, our focus is not on the game right now. It's on trying to have a great Monday and go have a great Tuesday practice.
Take two more questions.
You mentioned at the top the other former conference rival, regional rival. It's the first time I know you guys have scheduled Syracuse, but it seems like, how do you think that's important to play non-conference games against regional rivals like BC? It's for the fans, for the players, just.
Yeah, I think it's more for the fans and travel. They're closer games. It just makes sense. I know we had conversations about traveling to the West Coast to play non-conference games versus being able to play somebody locally. Financially, it's a smarter decision. For the fan base, it's a better deal. You're renewing some old rivalries that, I wasn't here, but I'm sure a lot of people would enjoy seeing. So I just think it makes sense for us. The other part of it, you got to be able to work the non-conference schedules out because these things are scheduled out so far in advance. So it's not just like our desire or their desire to do it. It's got to fit in each other's schedule. But from my preference, I'd love to be able to do this more times than not.
Final question.
You started by talking about the RWJ Barnabas. What's important as a next step from a recruiting standpoint? Pat's mentioned a field house as an important step. What if your vision 5 years down the line? What's important from a facility standpoint that Rutgers gets?
Well, it all starts with two things. What do we need to recruit, and what do we need to develop our players? That's it. I'm not so much into how nice a coach's office is. It's what do we need to help us recruit against the teams we compete against, and what do we need to develop our players. And when you look here at our facility from a football standpoint, we have made a lot of improvements and upgrades, most recently the locker room. The academic success center, when that's done, is going to be a huge piece. There are still components to this Hale Center that need to be redone. They're very, very old. They're still functional, and we get our work done. But I think if you walk into the APC, you see the shiny new feel and the sex appeal, that, so to speak, that it has. We have parts here in our football facilities that have that, some that do not. And the goal is to get them all that way.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.